Welcome to the George FT TV YouTube channel. Today we'll touch on a team update after the first round of practice games. So excited for that. We'll touch on two of the practice games that I watched, the remaining ones. They were the Showdown and Carlton versus St Kilda. So yeah, should be good. Before we get into that, I want to plug our Discord. So I think we had nearly 250 people apply for leagues, but for FTTV leagues, but if you need a league field or you want to join some sort of a random, or any sort of random league, we have a channel for that in Discord, so link is in the description. Yeah, it's getting very active. It's probably dropped off a bit in the off season, but it's picking up again. Nearly 10,000 messages in the Discord, so yeah, it's good. And if you want to get involved, feel free to join. So that's exciting. I think we're recruiting for the WOGs League at the moment, so if you're a WOG, you can apply for that. Should be good. And yeah, I have made a lot of changes to this team. No Callum Mills. I've taken out Bailey Smith for now. I think he's highest owned player in the game. Long story short, he's gone in for has a knee issue. Didn't pull up super well and touch and go for the next practice game. Didn't really want to pick him, to be honest. Apparently, I didn't watch that game. Apparently, looked amazing in the first half. Racked it up. His outside player in a practice game is always going to rack it up, but we'll see. Concerned. But any sort of preseason little thing seem to get scared. So Mills has plantar fasciitis. Not sure how serious it is. Just losing confidence in his lower body, being able to hold up. So I guess we'll see how he goes round 0, and then we'll make a call there. If he's not playing round 0, I'll probably sit out, but we'll see. And yeah, brought in a few players, brought in an old favourite, Jack Steele. We brought back 1% owned. Can't believe this. Wrote him off 2 years ago. He said wouldn't pick, and then had a good preseason. It was an okay pick last year. And yeah, I was listening to SCN. I said this the other day on the video I did, but yeah, said he's the fittest he's ever been. Started watching the Saints versus Carlton. First quarter, he's looking really good. Like, I think Cripps came off early and there's no Walsh, so he's not really playing on much, but just covering the ground really well. Looks good. Boyd's hitting it down his throat. He's working well with McRae, handballing in the midfield, and Garcia as well was linking up. Looks really good. So check fantasy. How much is he? He's priced at 106. So I was like, yeah, I think we can fit him in fantasy. And by 3/4 time, he's in the SuperCoach team. So sorry, Andy Brayshaw. He's made way. Looks so good. Yeah, one of those just not a tag target, high CBAs, not many taking points off him. McRae looks good in there, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm ready to get hurt again. I don't know how he ends up in my team every single year. Even the injured years, I've traded him in after he's been injured, and we're back again, and I love it. Can't get enough. So he's back. Obviously, I took out Mills and the confidence around a D6 defender rookie. Maybe O'Sullivan, we'll see. From Geelong. Don't know if he plays though. I think he's maybe fighting Koladajny. So we'll see what happens. Pryor as well. I don't know where he is in the best 22. I think he's been in the A's most of the time, so maybe he does play. But I've gone to fill this out. I've gone Nas, who I didn't want because he had a hamstring awareness 3 weeks ago, and gone Sicily, who I didn't want because of the forward threat. But I looked at the Hawks 22. I think Gunston, Hardwick, Cho up forward, then Lewis and Deere will come back in. So maybe they'll be okay forward. I guess there'll be times where he gets thrown forward, but yeah, been mostly back. I think we just back him in with his ceiling. The buy's not great either, but I don't know. I just feel like I got to pick someone, and I looked at Dale. I didn't like Dale's post-buy. Maybe Fraser takes some points. Fraser looked really good, or Freya, not sure how to say it. Probably not though. Dale will be running the show still. But yeah, didn't love his post-buy. Who else? Maxi Holmes, again done a few hamstrings. Looks really good though, but I'm actually okay for that buy now that I've taken out Mills and Bailey Smith. I could see myself picking Holmes. Looks really good. Pretty much dominated all preseason, it sounds like. Over Nas or Sicily. I think I'll probably keep Sicily. But you've got Nas at the moment. But yeah, a bit heavy on that Fremantle buy with Butters, Steele, McRae, Nass and Geordie Clark, but you still got Clark. I haven't really seen anything from Clark this preseason. Wasn't that great in the Indigenous matchup, but just going to back him in. SDK is a hard one. We'll worry about that in round 0. And Jacob Blight, not really keen to pay this. I think he's got 100k in him though. Can intercept and spoil a lot. I forgot his VFL average. I think it was 68 DT, which I expect given he spoils and intercepts a lot. I'm guessing that's 80 plus for SuperCoach. But he's going to play key defender. Maybe when Bolter comes back, he can play third interceptor. We'll see, but I've got him for now. I think he's got good job security, and I don't think you can sub him because playing key defender. Whereas I worry about fielding a Zach Reed with his durability and a Patton or a Pryor with sub risk. So I've got Blight at the moment, and it's stuck in between a rock and a hard place. I think I'm not confident fielding a rookie unless it's O'Sullivan, but also not really keen on a lot of these defenders. So the 400k range, it looks like Perryman scores okay with CBAs historically. Had that CBA role. Very poor durability, has a buy as well. Might play a bit more as a defensive mid, so I'm not too sure with Perryman. Getting a bit popular, and then in Discord, and then Roberts as well. Not sure with him. Where does Florent play? Does that affect him? I think Roberts will be fine though. My gut feel is he'll be fine. Just feel like I can pay 100k for someone with no buy and just a much higher floor, like a Nass or a Sicily. So that's the defense. Midfield, no Bont, no Brayshaw, who's in most of my drafts, I think. Just Bont's just that little bit too steep, and got Butters and Sarong. Butters did not look like he cared for that practice game. Doesn't need to. And Sarong looks frighteningly good. Kicked 4 in the match sim today. The tags will come for sure, but I think when he doesn't get tagged, I think he'll average 130. Genuinely think he will. Yeah, just looks unbelievable. So, age, probably. What's he, 5th, 6th year? I think 6th year now, 2019 drafts. Yeah, looks unreal. Butters, Sarong's locked, and I'm pretty sure I picked Butters unless I randomly decide to flip him to Bont. But I think Butters and Sarong there, my M1, M2. It is a little bit pricey, plus you've got Sheasel there, so less money to play with to get these rookies off. I think I just want to pay for captain options and just locks for top of their position, I think. So have those two. Yeah, brought Jack Steele in, said before, I've been hurt many times before, just had shoulder issues, Achilles issues. What was the other one? Collarbone, knee. He's had a few, but he looks really good at the moment. Hopefully I don't get scared by any knee soreness. He's had that the last few years, just briefly through the middle of the year. Just kind of picking players I really like. Love Sicily. Again, the fourth threat is a bit of a worry, but one of my favourite players, Sicily. Probably my favourite defender to watch, and one of my favourite mids as well. Has always been in Jack Steele. So he's in. I like this game a lot. Should we be changing premiums based on practice games? Probably not. But here we are. I think defense, again, feel like the hand is forced with if I don't want Mills and then D6 not confident. Got to pick someone, and then, I don't know, just like Steele. Dawson, I think Dawson's very popular in Discord. I think he's going to play a little bit wing just when ranking comes in, and then Nix will need to make a call on what we're doing with Sid Draper. And because if Sid's playing, he's going to have to get CBAs, and there's just a half forward. It's a logjam with Keys, Neil Bullen, Rochelle will rotate there, Rankin a bit there. Curtin, I think, should rotate a bit there. So it's kind of hard for, Peatling as well. It's a bit of a mess. I think he's going to rotate wing with, and Saligo will as well. Maybe have Shaw as permanent wing, and the other one, Cummings there as well. It's a little bit of a logjam, so we need to see another game with Crows mids. I think Dawson, they just love giving the ball to him so much, and he's just a star for us. So tags will come, and 550 is not a terrible price for him. I think there's upside there. I've got Dawson. Clary speaks for himself, And then the 3 rooks I've got on field, added O'Driscoll, just watching the Freo versus the Indigenous All-Stars game. Looks really good. Scope for inside mid for him as well. I think did get a few CBAs, and I just was watching him play because he was pushing into stoppage from the wing, and just that big body was able to burst through. Was impressed with him. So 198k, he's straight in and on field. Sardis, we think, will get Parrish's role, all going well. And then Sheldrick, well, with Mills' plantar fasciitis, if Mills is out, I think Sheldrick is going to get a chance because he... Did I watch this game against the Giants? No, I didn't, so I can't really comment. But I've spoken to a few people in Discord who have loved Sheldrick's game. And we know what he can do. His points per minute a few years ago was brilliant, like premium scoring levels for if it was like a Ford premium. So if he plays, he's on field. Now, I think definitely a best chance. One where you would have thought, I think this was the one that West Coast should have gone for instead of Dev Robertson. Sheldrick not getting opportunity, but I think if he starts getting opportunity, and it seems like Cox is pretty switched on. He's done a lot of media, Dean Cox, and I think he's making the right moves so far. We'll see what happens with the McCartan experiment, but we'll see. So Sheldrick's on field. I've brought Levi back in, and poor Jagger Smith. Also, I forget his name, Monez from Melbourne. Yeah, devastating for those two to do the ACLs. I don't know, not much else to say on that, but yeah, I think we're all sad for Jagger. Carlton fans will be devastated because their injuries are just ACL after ACL at this point. Like every year, it's Doc, it's J Sauce, Williams. Like they just had so many. Pretty devastating. But we've got Levi in. Not sure where he fits in the 22. I think the thought is that he's just too good to play, and it has had limited preseason with the shoulder. Was a bit worried there for a moment. Collided with Lombard. Or Lombard, I think, Lombard ran into him or tried to hit him and came off. He's out for 12 weeks, I think. So, Levi, was linking up. Bit of a pig. You can see he's got those pig tendencies. So, he's in. I think I want him on the field, but the way I've structured, I can't do it. But maybe we can... If we have to drop a mid, this is a problem. We get attached to these picks. I don't want to drop Butters. I don't want to drop Sarong. I really like Steele, like Dawson. Can't drop Oliver. I don't know. And then Never played well. And then just reading reports on Freo's intra-club, apparently they loved Murphy Reed's game. They're saying that he's gone past Erasmus Johnson and Brody in the half. So maybe he gets opportunity. We'll see. So it did slide through the draft. I think he was in discussions for the Crows pick at pick 4, vaguely, because there was Langford was there as well and Sid Draper. So apparently looks really good. This M11 slot and these rookies, this is a time we need to start really thinking about what they're, who we're going to pick here, and then sort of finalize it after, when teams are named or after the next round of practice games when we see teams line up with probably stronger lineups as they, what's the word? Role play their best 23. So could be number guys, could be hasty or something. So we'll see. Pretty disgusting ruck line. Forgot had this. But yeah, Meek, Flynn, and Reedy. I like Meek's opening fixture. Man, I feel like if I could pay 100k more for Gawn, and Gawn will just drop a 180 early in the season like he always does while Meek's on the bye. I feel like I could get killed here. If I can find 100k, I might go to Gawn. I'm not sure. Sherry's there too. There's no way I'm touching both. Just want to save some money and maximize points per dollar where we can, because we're already paying up for Sheasel and M1, M2. But I like Meek. I think 108 post buy and soft early run. So I think I'm hoping for... I'll be okay with 105 plus, and he can end up in flex. And then we'll definitely need Gawn and Sherry, I think. So he can be my third ruck. There's a few others like De Koning. Speak about De Koning when we go over the match sim players, but Briggs as well. Briggs had limited prep. I think had some sort of knee surgery. I'm not sure it was major surgery, but yeah, only just recently started match sim. So that's one. I think Briggs has probably a bit more upside, but probably a lower floor and more durability risk. I've got Flynn here, so we'll see what happens with Flynn. Maybe he has a bit of a back issue, but I think he'll play over Bailey Williams, just if he's fit or not. And yeah, just copped a few knocks to where he was sore. So this is just one to watch at the moment. We'll see if he plays. A little bit risky, very injury prone. But we do have, I think Reedy can step in. So it sounds like Reedy's going to play. Now, is Reedy any good? I guess we're a reserve judgment. I would have liked to seen a bit more, especially with his tap work against Livingston. But if you're number one ruck and you're 132k, how do you not pick that? So, yeah, how bad can it be? I think his numbers in the waffle aren't that bad either. I think it's 100 plus, something like that. So he's one where we'll pick and sort of a safety net, but we know that he has to go as soon as Darcy comes in. DeConning could swing in the ruck line, but that's if Chris Scott doesn't do Chris Scott things. And who knows? It's hard to get a read on Chris Scott. DeConning's slightly worried about. I feel like I should get him up to Perryman or Roberts as that discounted D6 that we flip later. I'm not sure. We'll see round 0. Round 0 will help us a lot. And yeah, I've also got Boyd in flex. I don't know if he plays or not. I liked what I saw. I guess he's not better than Rowan, obviously, but in terms of actual stoppage craft, I think he's better in that area, but obviously around the ground, there's very few better than Rowan Marshall. So we'll see what happens. I feel for team balance. I think Max King will be back in the team soon, but they did lose Membry. And I did like Marshall forward last year. I thought he looked really good there. They could like sub Boyd off 3/4 time and throw Marshall full-time ruck. I think Ross, it's something for Ross to think about after watching that game. I thought the service he gave McRae, Garcia, and STEELE and young Boxall as well. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Boxall, I can't remember, but yeah, he looked really good too. But yeah, just a practice game, got to remember that. So with best 18 of 23 in rounds 2, 3, and 4, we have this safety net where I feel like we can punt a little bit in the rucks. And the upside is pretty big if we can start fielding number one rucks as rookies. So that is a risk I'm willing to take. And yeah, not only the 18 of the 23, but also having flex as well give us a little bit more leeway to really screw around in this position. Because to be honest, I've screwed around in the rucks before and it's probably ruined seasons, to be honest. Like, especially like I think I went Meek to Sweet and that was just a disaster. And I think some people went Sherry to Sweet as well last year when Sherry, his post-buy was obviously much better, but people were thinking he might not be top 2. Let's just cash him in. He's done his job, made money, but I guess a bit unlucky. Sweet had COVID. But yeah, one thing goes wrong in the rucks and you have to fix it. If something goes wrong elsewhere, you might be able to, more options to DPP or more options to trade to. But yeah, rucks are urgent and the options to trade in are, the timing the timing might not be right to get the player you want in given what price they are. So I'm not too worried about going without Sherry, although I think it could be bad just because of his fixtures a little bit rough. And he did have a lot of easy beats last year, but I still want him at some point for sure. Gordon scares me more. He's 33 now. At what point do we see age regression? Like, it's coming. It's just not sure when. There's nothing worse than antipoding Gordon in this game. It's the worst antipod in the history of this game, for sure. We'll see. I've brought Horn Francis in. He's looked brilliant in the preseason. I'm still wary of what that looks like when they have a full squad and they're all trying. Because he did do 95 last year post-buy. And yeah, did have a few spike scores early in the year when Wines missed and Rosie missed. Maybe we see a little bit of natural progression. But yeah, he looks awesome. And maybe a little bit of a small uptick in CBAs, maybe. But we'll see. McRae, I liked McRae's game. I think that's who he is, that in and under mid, and he hasn't played that for years. And even when he was getting CBAs, Libba was that in and under mid. McRae, you look at his prime years, he's the one at the bottom of the pack dishing out handballs and tackling. Whereas, yeah, I guess his outside games regressed a bit, and maybe he's maybe lost a yard on the inside as well. But in terms of winning that first possession, I think he's still got it. I think he's still that guy. But obviously, other areas of his game have diminished. So I think he's the number one picked player in the game, just about. So he's definitely in, and yeah, McRae's just been a favourite for so long. It's going to be good to own him again. Even though everyone has him, he's just good to watch. Like, yeah, his prime days were just unbelievable. So, like, if you're doing a Mount Rushmore for SuperCoach, I think he's on there. You probably put Gawn and Ablett there. I think McRae's close. I'm sure I'm missing some names here, but like Pendlebury would be up there. I guess Bont would be close. Probably needs another 1 or 2 years of 120 plus, but anyway. Move on. Caleb Daniel, just a lock. I guess I said McRae was first pick. It's probably Daniel, then McRae. Now, Hugo Garcia, we'll touch on. I mean, threw a few darts in the forward line. Looked at Garcia, looked at Maric, maybe not best 22. Hutchinson, probably not as much inside time as I was hoping for. Looks more wing. After his coach did mention he could get some inside time on the radio, but looks like the Garcia one is the one that looks really good. Did get that third, started in the CBAs, was the clear third CBA mid. Winhager, I'm not sure Winhager got CBAs, I can't remember, but he looked like more of an outside role. Not sure they know what to do with Winhager, but yeah, Garcia looked great. Saw what I needed to see. Bit of outside game as well. A few contested handballs. Tackles like he always does. Yeah, it was busy. A bit quiet in the fourth quarter. I'm not sure if he was taken off, but just, I barely saw him in the fourth quarter, but looked really good. No-brainer pick, in my opinion. I think they have a few mids to come back. Like, they have Dow. They have... I can't remember. I was about to say someone. Not Wood. Wood is outside, but Hunter Clark, that's the one. Hunter Clark as well. I feel like Hunter Clark's been a tease for a very long time now. Did play some okay footy last year, but man, Garcia looks their future. I guess Sinclair as well could come in and play a bit midfield, but we'll see. And then the rookies, I do feel like I should get Pau Pepe here somewhere, because looking at his numbers historically, there are some, like looking at his scores in 2023, there's a few 20s in there, but there's also quite a few like 85 plus scores in there. So he seems to be a high 80s, low 70s guy. It is 10 months off an ACL, which worries me a bit. But I don't know. It says he's fit in the leadership group. So if he's in the leadership group of 4, you would think he's no chance of being subbed. Unless for whatever reason they want to manage him a bit. I'm thinking about Pep Pepe. He's one I'm not rushing to get in, but I do feel like he'd be better than Davidson, Hall, and Hewitt. Maybe Hewitt, I'm not sure. I think Stone has a better role, so you hope Stone scores a bit better. But yeah, that's the team how we're looking at the moment. A little bit unique, and yeah, what I love about Discord this year is just everyone, like there's a few people going full value, like not touching anyone over 600. Like even like high 500s, I'm seeing like loading up on the 400k defenders, loading up on your Day, your Chera, bit of Baker up forward. Like for me, I like to find the balance. I like my Ubers in this game. Yes, it means it's harder for me to get rookies off, but I feel like I'm taking too much risk loading up on value guys. But I'll probably do that in fantasy just because unlimited trades in that format can correct. Like you don't need keepers in fantasy. In SuperCoach, I think you do. Like surely we have 40 trades and need to make sure the post-buy team looks good. I think people forget that, and I guess you want to get runs on the board early as well. So if you can get the best of both, you need to play really exceptionally well. So I'm not expecting this team to fly out the blocks, but hopefully we've picked enough value to support a few of the Ubers that we have. Maybe I should get one more rookie off. I'm not sure. Like get a Blight to Perryman or something, or see what happens with SDK. Yeah. Still want to pick play. Yeah. Captain options too. So it's interesting. We'll touch on as I bring it up. Just a few players I want to speak about. So yeah, didn't watch Melbourne versus North. I don't know what to take out of that game. Looks like Power's going all right. It was on simultaneously with another game, so didn't watch. So Carlton versus St Kilda. So TDK Pitney might be a combo with Curnow out. I think at least for one round, but I'm not sure how long. So he's had surgery, so we'll see what happens with that. I'll probably skip TDK. Look, when he's solo, he's probably going to go nuts, but throughout the year, he's going to need pit support, and certainly opening the season, if he's playing forward to fill in for Curnow, then yeah, I won't be going there. Ollie Hollands, I'm not sure. Carlton's whole team, it felt like they just turned up to get a kick and went home. I really didn't see much. I need to see Carlton again because I didn't take much out of them. Didn't think he did a lot that stood out, Hollands, but give him another week, I think. Roll looked fine though. Chera, one that didn't do much. Didn't notice him much in the first quarter. I think started to get going a bit later in the second or third. Another one that was probably didn't get out of second gear. Just the injury risk is just too high here, and I'm not picking him. But one that can do really well. There was a rookie, Matt Carroll, who looked alright. Was finding the ball through the middle of the ground a bit. Need to see this again, but wasn't the team. So yeah, he looked okay. What position is he? Oh, he's defender 99k. Did not realize that. I think it was Matt Carroll. One to watch, I think. I don't know anything about him. I haven't even done a background check. We'll move to St Kilda because there's more relevance here. I don't think I can think of much more relevance for Carlton. I think Motlop was pretty good. He's 190k. Probably a touch expensive for a small forward though. But did get up the ground a bit and you kicked a few goals. Moving on to St Kilda. Yeah, Hugo Garcia looked awesome. Now, it is one practice game, and it was against Carlton, who were missing, they subbed Cripps off early. No Walsh. Looked like they weren't trying. But he just looked good, looked fit, was covering the ground really well. Endurance he's got, and yeah, was impressed with his inside craft. 245k. If he's lining up in the first centre bounce, there's no way I pass that. So I really like this game. And yeah, your draft profile reads pretty well. Boxall. I've just written Box here. I can't remember his name. Maybe we should look it up. But yeah, number 38, Hugh Boxall. Looked really good. Bit of inside mid. Not sure. It is a practice game and a few names to come back. So one to keep an eye on. So yeah, was impressed with him. Hasty, I think, played down back. I don't have much memory of Hasty, to be honest. So apparently he played well, but was watching, just didn't take enough notice. And Max Hall was alright, kicked a few goals. I think his fantasy score was quite good, Hall, with the tattoos running around. So been in the A's for most of pre-season, from what I've read. I think Joey Montagna said that on the official SuperCoach podcast. So he's one where I think he's good for bench. I haven't done much of a background check, but yeah, DPP cheap. We'll do a background check. Let's just do one now. I just read racking up big numbers as a junior with Eastern Rangers. 2002 birthday, so what is he, 22? Running machine at stoppages, high half forward. Achieving 2 30-plus disposal outings and not dropping below 18 touches in his seven VFL games. So we should be looking at VFL stats here, but this seems pretty promising. Can find the ball. High half forward. Cool. Reads pretty good. And I guess Nas and Steele. I guess Nas looked a little bit rusty early, but had a few shocking kicks. But I think just cruising, patrolling the back line. Not massively big on this pick. I just feel cornered into picking somebody. And I guess Nas, if Sinclair plays up the ground a bit, we don't know that. And yeah, Jack Steele did say in his interview the standout over summer has been Nasiah Wanganeen-Miller. Is in a contract year and he's going to get mega offers for sure. So I've got Nas in, and I spoke about Steele getting sucked in again, but He's in for me. I'm ready to go again. There was a winger, I think it was an Irish guy, O'Connell, looked alright, one to watch. There was just so many rookies in this game. I feel like I'm even missing another rookie, but St Kilda rookies are a big watch, so they're one to keep an eye on next week for sure. Boxall, Hasty, Hull, O'Connell, but they did have Wood out, so he could take his wing spot. So the Crows game, Dan Curtin. So Crows are a bit messy at the moment with all their midfield, but I don't have Dan Curtin anymore. There's an interview with Van Berlo, who's our ex-captain and coach, who said that we don't know how to use him, and I just can't believe that he said that when you've been watching him in pre-season since November and you still don't know how to use him. Like, oh my goodness, so frustrating, honestly. The amount of times this club, the Crows are in a great spot in terms of list and best fitness staff, Darren Burgess. Brought in some support coaches as well this year, so hopefully a bit better in that area. But honestly, it is mind-boggling how they misread kids and where to play them so often. And it is blatantly obvious that Dan Curtin is a forward. Like, it is so obvious. Maybe he has scope to play other positions later, but right now he's a forward, and they threw him on a wing for most of the game, and it just does my head in. It is a bit of a squeeze, though, playing that half-forward role when you got all those half-forwards as mentioned before, plus you got the 3 tolls. Does he take Taylor Walker's spot? Like, I feel like he'd be good at the Tom Lynch role. They used to call him the connector. I'm talking about the Crows Tom Lynch. I feel like that would be a good role for him, but it is a bit hard to fit him in. But playing him on a wing, it's just no. It's not where he's trained mostly. He's trained mostly forward. I would be playing him, just finding a spot for him forward, and I don't know. Another one is Peatling. So I don't have Curtin, I just roll uncertainty, and the Crows don't even know what his role is. Just mind-boggling at this point, 2 weeks out from round 1. Peatling, this is complicated because he looked good. Port weren't trying. But if he's not getting CBAs, if you look at Peatling's numbers from last year, he's not a massive disposal winner. He is a very, very, very high tackler. Like, you look at his games, I don't need to bring it up, but there's like a few games of like 12 tackles or whatever. So he needs tackles to score. If he's not getting CBAs, he's missing out on opportunities to tackle. And I think the CBAs, it might not even hit 50 when Rankin comes in and if they give Draper. So Peatling's out for me. If they drop Crouch, which I don't think they do, it just opens up everything. It opens up Sid Draper, Dawson's ceiling gets higher, Peatling's ceiling gets higher, and probably Rankin's too. So Crouch is a bit of a roadblock for about 4 viable picks in the Crows midfield. So Crouch in there just makes everything less viable because he's probably going to average his 105 in there. I'm a big fan of Crouchy. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing what the midfield looks like without him because Saligo and Peatling look really good. I can probably cover him. But I think he's still our best first possession winner. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So Dawson, pretty much full mid. I think he'll rotate a bit more wing when Rankin comes in the side. So I think 60% CBAs for Dawson. Just a decent value and a good buy. So flip if needed, but just love watching him play. That's it for the Crows. Moving on to Port. So Pau Pepper, honestly, was paying more attention to the Crows players, but 180k. More looking at. I think the main thing is he is fit and just probably needed a hit out just to blow out the cobwebs. I don't have him, but I'm open to it. Berry as well, I'm open to. Looks to have good job security and will play an important role up forward for Port. Horn Francis. Spoke about Horn Francis before. Looks exceptionally good. I think is something he had in juniors, which I feel like I haven't seen much of over the past 2 years, is his defensive work. It looks like his tackles were just so aggressive and like players weren't getting off him easily. Player would, if his man would get first possession at stoppage, he was tackling like straight away, like ferocious tackles as well. I liked his defensive game. It was pretty impressive. So yeah, I have Horn Francis. I am not opposed to fading him, but I've gotten to the point where I don't have Bailey Smith, so I need to fill out the forward line, and I'd rather structure to field like a Levi Ashcroft, but again, not really sure how that, if Sheldrick and Ashcroft are sub risks or not. Maybe we'll see. So the ruck line might not be realistic. I'm well aware of that. So we'll need to cut somebody. I would like to cut Nasaya for a ruckman if I have to pick one. That means I'm fielding a D6 rookie, so it might be. We'll see who we get. Like, good Carroll play, I don't know. There's one player I was reading about on SuperCoach scores. Apparently went well. Tajway Woden's been sub. VFL numbers no good, but 150k apparently played really well on the wing. He's been sub like almost every game. So one to watch, 150k. If we need someone, he could be the guy. One to watch for next game. But that's the team. That's the reviews. Sorry, I didn't watch all the games, but yeah, this upcoming week I'm away again, so I won't be home till late Thursday night. So probably not going to do any videos till then. But we'll be reading as much as I can and watching the match sims. So yeah, excited for that. But yeah, it's easy to say you're happy with the team and you want it to go well and you're feeling good because you've done all this research. But at the end of the day, you just need a decent team to compete. That's what we're after. We're not trying to win round one. We're just trying to compete early. So set the team up well. And I'm big on selecting quality assets. You know, keepers, having these players be keepers is a bonus. Durable, prime roles. I guess, you know, like Nas could be second or equal first, I guess, distributor, but maybe same with Clark. But I guess they've both been primos together with Ryan and Sinclair. So we'll see how it goes. And we have to take some risk, I think, just how it is. Like, bit nervous on DeConning, bit nervous on Sicily. I think for the most part, he'll be down back, and Sicily can do 120 plus down back, whatnot. And yeah, hopefully these best. I think the best 22 from 23 will definitely help players who aren't going full value in terms of like mid-price madness or value premiums, not necessarily keepers, but you know, like your Perrymans and whatnot. So just means that we can, if we're fielding more rookies and we get that really bad rookie score, it can drop off. So as well, so we'll see. Yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.